Hey guys, and welcome back. So listen up. Few guys and girls will be able to tell you that maybe one of their most fundamental needs is to be understood. So I'm gonna name today's episode after a book I just love, and I'm gonna name it Please Understand Me. And I'm not just talking about me, myself. I'm talking about everybody. Each and every person you'll meet will want you to understand them, to really relate to them on their own terms. If you manage to do that, you will have such positive interactions and you will be of such a service to others that abundance will surely flow into your life. Did you ever feel understood, deeply understood by somebody? Did you feel that he was on the same vibe with you? And I don't care what your intention was. Maybe your intention was to have fun and the person that was with you really had fun with you. Or maybe you just wanted him to listen to you. Or maybe you wanted to open up to somebody you could trust and he showed he was worthy of that trust. Did you ever feel understood? As in for real, understood? Because if you did, then you know what that experience feels like. And if you don't, well, it's not too late. It's not too late, trust me. People that are able to understand you are just gems. And you will be a gem also to other people if you manage to understand them. So, how can you start to do that? How can you begin to understand the persons that are talking to you? Well, for starters, I would like to give you my experience on that. I don't know what works for you, but I will tell you what worked for me. I'm a person who, even though admits there are lots of possibilities, also likes to come to conclusions, also likes to judge things as being useful or not useful to a person. I don't judge them in terms of right or wrong, but I do judge experiences and attitudes in terms of, is that serving you or is that not serving you? Now, that has been useful to a point, but sometimes it really blinded me, I was like this going through life because for my mind, I couldn't understand how another person could have different ideas from me. And that was my first impediment in understanding them. I couldn't understand how a person, for example, could be meteosensitive. As in, no matter if outside is sunny or it's raining or it's cloudy, my mood is exactly the same. But I have some female friends who seem to be very meteosensitive. When it's sunny outside, for no apparent reason, they're extremely happy. But when it's not sunny outside, when it's gloomy, when it's cloudy or it's raining, they're just depressed for no apparent reason. Everything else in their lives is going absolutely awesome. And I just can't understand that. And I just get mad because why are you acting so irrational? That's me failing to understand them. That's me assuming that they will be just the same as I am. And guess what? People are not the same as you are. And the sooner you get that, the sooner you can start to remedy that by actually, listening and trying to figure out, okay, how are you really? What's your world like? When you really begin to listen, when you really begin to open up to them, you will find new worlds of possibilities that weren't there before. And you will find that indeed they're not irrational. You will find that indeed what they say really makes sense, but it makes sense in their own context. You have to be really culturally sensitive, and these are high words. How can you become culturally sensitive? Well, by admitting that this world is very diverse and that you are right, but another person who thinks differently than you is also right at the same time. This may not make sense at first, but once you delve into it, once you go deep, it really starts to make sense. and you begin to really understand and relate to the other person in its own terms by admitting that, okay, you're different from me, but you're not bad. If I would understand you more, if I would open up to the possibilities you see more, then I would really begin to accept your views as being correct, not only for you, but for me. See, when you give it a shot, you open up to the possibility that your world could be more. You have a certain zone of comfort. And whatever is inside that zone of comfort, well, that's okay. But whatever is challenging, whatever is outside your zone of comfort, you'll tend to see that as endangering yourself. You'll tend to see that as losing yourself. For example, let's say you are a people pleaser. Now, let's say you take others' emotions into account all the time, and you do everything in your power to accept other people, even though you may not like them, and to please their emotions and give them anything and everything they want. And let's say a friend comes to you and says, man, you're just a wimp. I mean, please, come on, grow some fucking balls. Man up. Stand up for your rights. At first, you'll say, man, but that's not me. You know, I'm not a bad guy. I'm a good guy. And I'm mushy and stuff. And I like to have people, to hug people and surround myself with bunny rabbits. That's your comfort zone. And going out of your comfort zone may seem threatening to you. May seem like, okay, I'm gonna lose myself if I do this. But do that, accept his point of view, accept that that may be right. And once you try that, you'll eventually see that, yeah, you can integrate that and your comfort zone expands. And later on, after a few time has passed, you know, you just come to that person that you previously said, man, I can never be like you. And you'll say, yeah, it's not so bad. See, now I'm more like you. And in the definitive sense, it's not so bad. Once you give it a shot, you can begin to integrate that. And the thing that was stressful, the thing that you dreaded and feared to do, is now your new comfort zone. And you can begin to open up. You can begin to release the tensions you have associated with other people's behavior being different. And as you open up, you begin to let more energy flow into your life. You begin to see yourself better. You begin to be less afraid of other people's opinion, and maybe you start actually self-promoting yourself more. You really begin to acknowledge that you have value just as they have value, and you'll not say you're evil or you're stupid or you don't know what you're talking about. Instead, you'll actually ask questions. You'll ask, okay, how is this relevant? Okay, why does this work? Okay, how can I make it work for me? And when you begin to integrate those possibilities, you just grow, and you grow beautifully. When you really begin to listen to what other people have to say, you will find out that you will feel less and less threatened. Your ego becomes less and less vulnerable. And guess what? That gives you freedom. That gives you space. That makes you not take everything personally. And in the space of that freedom, you can paint any kind of picture you want to see of your life. And once you do that, you will begin to see you are the creator of your own reality and not the product of the circumstances and of the events that are happening around you. So when you really begin to give others a chance, when you really begin to really listen, to really breathe, you know, and to calm down and to open up, you'll find out that other people indeed have a good opinion of you, that they're not actually criticizing you, that what they're telling, even though it may be different, is actually opening up new possibilities for your expression in the fullest sense of the word. So keep this in mind. Don't take it so personally, and open up to what other people may have to say because you never know what gems you may find. Of course, filter it, of course, but give it a shot, and in opening up, you will see that you will become more and more rich, and you will enrichen the lives of all the people around you, and they'll just love to have you in their lives. So keep that in mind and try to use that the next time you interact with anyone. Ask them questions. I'll see you again next time. Bye.